As you saw on the title and thumbnail, today I have a triple bag reveal from the row. Two of these I got secondhand and one of them is brand new. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. And hi, if you're new here, my name is Elaine, and on my channel I like to talk about bags from mid-range to vintage luxury. And yes, I guess these bags do not fall under that category, but I still love them. Maybe I should change my tagline to just any bag with nice leather. But anyways, so I will go ahead and do a quick reveal of each. I will then do a quick review. So start off with the first one that I got. This is from Brandier, which is my favorite Japanese reseller on eBay. And this is called the Margo trifold. So it has the buckles on the side, like the Margo, and it has the roll down here. It is in pebbled leather with suede interior, which is really nice. The trifold does kind of remind me of the Celine Trio. You know, there's 3 compartments. As you can see, each one is fairly narrow, so it can't fit all that much inside, but it is a great sort of essentials only bag, and it does fit over the shoulder quite easily. So sort of what it looks like. This one I got for a pretty good price from Brandier, and I'm into my shoulder carry bags right now, so I just thought, you know, why don't I try it? I like it. It's a very much just a flat bag, but yeah, that's the first one. Let's move on to the next one. So this next bag I also got secondhand, and this one is the Astra Bowling Bag in the color burgundy, which actually is leaning a lot more purplish than I thought it would. The row rarely does bags in color, so it's a real gem when you see one. And so this is actually, I purchased this from Lindsay from Luxe Leather Revival. So thank you, Lindsay, for passing this on to me. It is so gorgeous. I was debating for a while because I know the Astra bag is fairly popular. I know it's this lambskin is just so squishy and gorgeous. It's so nice, but it also is kind of bigger than I really need for daily life. Inside, Lindsay purchased a organizer from Degas that comes with a foam insert, and go check out her video when she talks about putting the insert in, because you can see the difference between an insert and no insert when it comes to the Astra bag. Because it is lambskin exterior and interior, it is a very delicate bag. These parts here will stretch and pull, but you know, a little less so with the organizer inside. But if you do weigh down this bag, I've definitely seen some really beat up Astras where this part here starts sagging and it kind of loses its rectangular shape. But yeah, it's beautiful. And well, so I actually bought this other one first, and then Lindsay offered it at a price that I couldn't resist. Thought, at least for research purposes, I'll get both. If I didn't like this other one, I would return this other one. But basically, when the row released their summer releases for bags and clothes, I saw this one. Yes, it is another Astra bag. So this is the smaller Astra bag. This is new for summer, and as you can see the difference in the bags. So this is the Astra bag, and the bigger one is called the Astra Bowling Bag, which is such a misnomer because it's not really a bowling bag. Bowling bags would indicate you could fit a bowling ball, which then means it should be a little more, you know, it should have like a curvature to it. But anyways, the regular Astra is not as tall and not as long. Straps are just about the same, maybe a touch shorter. Okay, just kidding. Maybe by about an inch. But I have no problems carrying it over my shoulder. But I will say the depth, I think, is the same, if not a little bit bigger. No, I would say it's about the same for the mini. So it can hold quite a bit, yet it's a much smaller form factor. This is also in lambskin, interior and exterior. They only came in 2 colors for summer 2026. Both are currently sold out. This is the dark brown version, and then they also have a black. So I originally, when I saw this, I actually snapped it up on the day it released because I didn't think I was going to get the Astra Bowling Bag. And so I went for this because one, so retail price, it was I want to say it was $18.75, $18.50, so under $2,000. The Astra, I think, retails for about $23.50. As it turned out, with tax, I paid over $2,000 for this. And because I bought this from Lindsay, I paid under $2,000 for this. So this actually was a better value. I did want the smaller one because one, I don't carry a whole lot to begin with. And then two, because it is lambskin, if it is weighed down, I knew it was going to start sagging, and so a smaller form factor I think would mean a little bit more of a sturdy bag, less of it to weigh down. I also just noticed that the straps are actually a little bit thicker on the regular Astra. The straps are a little bit thinner, which normally I would not be a fan of because it does mean it increases pressure on your shoulder, but because it's such a small bag, I think you could get away with it. And then last but not least, I did, when I was doing some research about the Astra, you know, I saw a lot of people carrying their Astras sort of like a clutch. And so this one doesn't work as well as a clutch. I mean, it could, but it's quite big. And then I don't know if I put this on my shoulder yet, but yeah, this is with the organizer. It does make it a little bit wider, but I could take out the foam. And hi, if you're still watching and maybe have seen some other videos in the past and like bag reviews, I kindly ask that you consider subscribing. For those who have already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back and watching more and also listening to this little blurb. I know it can get tiring, but every subscriber really helps grow this channel and this community. So thank you guys, and back to the review. So if you're asking what fits, I have already been using my regular Astra. Inside there is a zipped pocket, lined in leather, lined in lambskin again, all lambskin interior. So inside I have my essentials, and as you can see, it pretty much fits everything perfectly. I don't really have much room for anything else. Phone as well would fit like so. And then I don't think the planner would fit. It would be, oh no, actually no, it does fit. You know, the saving grace on this bag is that it is wide, so it fits quite a bit, but I don't know if you can see, but it is going to pull here because it is really weighed down. So I normally wouldn't carry my planner with me, not usually anyway. So now if I were to say, okay, what fits in the Astra Bowling Bag? Got the foam insert. So I have my organizer full of my everyday items, tissue, sunglasses, Calvi card case, phone, and mini mom pouch. And then planner and bottle of water. Definitely. So everything is in there, plus the bottle of water. Yeah, and as you can see, there is some pulling here. So this is what I see a lot right here, this little like peak and trough and peak, and that's where the wear and tear is gonna start happening. As you can see, also you can see sort of the things on the inside. So I mean, that's just the nature of the lambskin. It is gonna soften and sag. Trade-off is then you get this really beautiful feeling everyday bag, especially when you start putting it under your arm. It feels so nice and luxurious, like you know, like if you were to take a Chanel lambskin bag without the chain, and then it becomes like your everyday bag, like, and very simple. You know, that's what this row Astra feels like to me. Last but not least, why don't we just see what fits in the Margo trifold? Of course, it's going to be the least. All right, so at the very least, you could fit card case. So my little Zumoni organizer full of stuff. I mean, yes, I guess it could fit if I really were so inclined, because the felt is fairly flexible, but yes, it distorts the bag quite a bit. I would not personally do that. I would probably just put my essentials, sunscreen, hand sanitizer, and a lip product, phone, sunglasses, mini mom pouch. And as you can see, it does fill it up quite a bit. I will say I used this Margo trifold a couple times. It is very comfortable on the shoulder. These rolled handles are a nice touch. So these are both flat strap handles. Rolled handles are definitely more comfortable to grip, but also, I mean, when it's a double, two straps like this over your shoulder, I find that it's pretty comfortable over my shoulder. It doesn't really slip off. The only pet peeve is that, you know, if I have this bag in my car and then like I break or something, you know, it flies forward, and I've had things kind of like fly out. yeah, I mean, that's what you get when you have a bag with no closure, which is probably why this bag has not been, didn't come back in other seasons. Like, it sort of was an experiment. They made a limited run, and then now they're done. So, but when it comes to the Margo, I kind of feel like this is my kind of Margo, you know, small, light, and fits easily over the shoulder. I mean, I would have loved the shoulder Margo, but I mean, I already have my East-West India bag, which, you know, is sort of the bigger size, fits over my shoulder. So I would say capacity-wise, I do feel like the Astra is just slightly narrower than the bowling bag. I mean, sorry, the East-West India bag, and I think is maybe fits just a little less, but it's kind of the same. Very similar sizing, actually, now that I think about it. Straps, I would say the Astra is a little bit, about 2 inches more. Width, the thing is, the width for the Astra is kind of variable. Like, if you really want to stuff it, you could stuff it because the lambskin is so stretchy and flexible that, you know, if you choose to, you could do it like this, or, you know, it could be squished down like this. The pebbled leather India bag doesn't really squish down too much. It does a little bit, but for the most part, because it's a much more structured bag, the pebbled leather itself is already a little bit more structured. It's not going to squish down as much. But I do think the leather of the pebble leather is going to be a little bit more durable than, say, the lambskin, you know. But yeah, so now I went from 2 bags from the row, and I did end up selling my park tote on my Fairly Curated Closet IG account because I knew these 3 were coming, and I was like, I haven't been using my row park tote. Actually, I did a whole video before I let it go, before I sent it off to its new home. So check that out, actually. Hopefully it'll be edited and posted before this video. But yeah, I sold that 1 bag to kind of keep this collection from the row a little more manageable. What do you think? It's probably a little much, but I'm actually very happy with what came through. And I think this is my first time with lambskin leather from the row. I've had saddle leather, which is nice, but it patinas way too much for me. The scratches show way too easily, and I'm not a perfectionist, and I don't need to have my bags to be pristine, but yeah, saddle leather will have the most wear and tear, or will show the most wear and tear, I should say. And then, of course, I do love my pebbled leather bags. Even the row park tote that I sold was a pebbled leather bag. And then now I have 2 lambskin bags, which I would love. I probably envision myself using the smaller one day to day, and probably this one when I need to carry a little bit more, like a water bottle or possibly a vlogging camera. But very happy with all of these purchases. So I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you've watched this all the way through. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye.